العالم دبي كوكب آخر دبي كوكب آخر هلا يا كل هالعالم في دار تختصر عالم وقالب وصفها العالم دبي كوكب آخر بهالقلوب تتفيا ومن هالليل يتضيا لأنها دارت الدنيا وعشق ما له آخر يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا دبي يا سلام يا دبي يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا دبي يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا دبي يا سلام يا دبي يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام يا دبي
First and foremost, in the year 1988, I lost a very valuable neighbor, not to passing on, but to actually leaving the continent of Africa. He lived in Pretoria, in my vicinity. His name is Mr. Elon Musk. And my loss to that neighbor was a loss to Africa, because how do we identify the future Elon Musks as they emerge as a government and as a private sector, so that we can employ them and we can mechanize them? So going forward to 2035, where Africa's population will double to more than 2 billion, that's not too far away. That's only 710 Saturdays and 2 days. So my compelling statement to the youth, to the elders, and as we seek to collaborate, is that let us take ownership of that future, so that it's not double the population and double the problem, but it's double the opportunity in the Africa we want. Thank you. Render due courtesy and many gratitude to the organizers for hosting this aptly timed sitting. Let me also acknowledge and salute the elders that have gone ahead and have already paved the way with their great insights and wisdom. You know, to respond to the issue of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, perhaps if I was to hover with the drone a little bit and ponder on what it is, it's a policy. So to move from policy to power or policy to implementation, it requires more than the policymakers, and it requires the youth to robustly come to the front row of development. You know, African youth, we are a peculiar lot. We are very strange. We didn't need a big permission in order for 15 million of us to come onto Facebook, those that are on Facebook. We didn't need permission for maybe 13 million of us to come onto Twitter on the continent, those that are on Twitter. Neither did we need permission to come on LinkedIn. I'm mentioning those social media platforms because they are robust tools of development in their own way from a social perspective. Why then do we think that the elders that configured this robust policy of Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, why do we think as the youth they need to permit us to get involved and fold and actually cause it to actually oil the wheels of our businesses, oil the wheels of our society? I think that is a peculiar mindset. And if this policy is to be owned by the youth and utilized or put to work by the youth, as the youth, we need to firstly discard a victimhood mindset. We need to discard an onlooker who is watching the game from the stand. We need to get involved, whether you are a small business and you are actually able to leverage the policy as the as the border tariffs are being lowered, you need to get in there. Or whether you are a tech expert like myself, utilizing blockchain to weaponize and mechanize the much awaited development on the continent. I mean, my co-founder and I are scheduled to have dinners with heads of state across the next 18 months. It's going to be a very busy schedule because we are taking delivery of our IBM configured blockchain infrastructure, and we are deploying it into the various spheres of industry. We didn't wait for permission. We didn't wait for permission from the Secretariat of the Free Trade Agreement to go like, oh no, maybe one day they will write us a letter. No, what we did, the youth must do it. Get involved, read about it, consume it. We consume more social media than we consume the policies of this continent. So as a result, in closing the point, we are waiting for China to redeem us. We are waiting for Europe to come back again and redeem us again. We are waiting and waiting and waiting. We are, as the youth in Africa, we are who we've been waiting for. So Calvary ain't coming. We need to stop making these emergency calls. No, we need more aid. No. We need more trade, more than aid. And I'm very privileged to be on the forefront of utilizing a truth machine and a trust machine called blockchain, whereby we are just switching the lights on as to what's been happening behind the scenes in Africa. For cocoa farmers in Ghana, in Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire, to be putting 70% cocoa output to Switzerland, to Germany, but be unable to afford chocolate for themselves and their children, that is bizarre. So we are switching the light on. For the East Africa coffee farmers to only get 1 cent out of a coffee cup, whereas somebody who has never worked on a coffee farm in San Francisco, in London, some young 21-year-old is busy getting $5 out of a coffee cup, whereas our grandmas, our grannies, our grandpas are working on a third generation on a coffee farm. They're getting 1 cent out of each cup. We are switching the lights on. So yes, we are due to have dinners with heads of state, having been hosted by the Prime Minister of Ethiopia just 2 months ago. We are going to be busy. My team and I took some time off. In the next 18 months is dinner and dinner and dinner, because the youth must come eye level, eye to eye with the older generation, so that together we can collaborate across the generations to co-create the Africa we want. So youth, stop waiting for